Hey, what is up, guys, and welcome back to Football Discussions. And today we're coming at you with a brand new video, the first 2022 NFL Draft video, and we're going to be going over scratch of the surface, what could end up being the quarterback class. I think it's the best quarterback class we've ever seen. I think there's so many day one and day two guys, especially round one and round two guys. It's really exciting. Again, way too early to tell, but just starting to dive into the tape here. As you can see, this is Sam Howell's going on behind you, but there is a lot who is personally my QB1 so far throughout this tape study, but there's a lot of good quarterbacks in this class. It's a really, really fun quarterback class. So kind of just scratch of the surface video on who I think are going to be the best quarterbacks in this 2022 NFL draft class. But regardless, just also wanted to kind of talk about where this channel is going. Obviously, I still want to make draft content for you. I think throughout the summer you can expect a lot of tape study videos, a lot of guys that I think are sleepers, guys that are already popping up on tape. And there's a prime example of this is a UNC receiver has already stood out to me just by watching Sam Howell's tape. Went back and watched him. Bo Corrales. He's going to be in his fifth year using that extra year of eligibility that the NCAA granted. A really, really good big body, big size receiver, good in the jump ball, good at getting contested catches. I think that he might be a late round gem next year and someone that's going to pop off in the X position for UNC. So just stuff like that. Going to do a lot of tape studies. So stay tuned to the channel if you want to see stuff like that. I can go over my grading system for you, how I scout these players, and all that. So I think it's going to be kind of a fun offseason for us. But regardless, let's get into the guys that I think are, some of the best quarterbacks in this draft class. I tweeted out if you want to follow the Twitter. It's right there. But just scratch the surface off. So Sam Howell, already talked about it, the guy from UNC. A really, really good quarterback, has a great arm. He's great outside of the pocket, great mobility inside the pocket. UNC's offense is a little dumbed down. There's a lot of, quick throws, screen passes, swing passes. It's going to be interesting to see how Sam Howell plays without a supporting cast that we've seen him with in the previous years. Guys like Daz Newsome, De'Ami Brown, and then, the running back duo of Carter and Javonte Williams. So it's going to be very interesting. I already talked. I think his number one receiver this year will be Bo Corrales, coming back using that extra year of eligibility. But it's a really, really good class, and a class that I think is going to do he's a really good player and a player that I expect to do really well. But again, that cast was really good for him last year, so it's going to be interesting to see how he does this year. And then the kid from Oklahoma, I know PFF already compared him to Patrick Mahomes. He's not Patrick Mahomes, but he could be your Zach Wilson type of this class, right? Your Josh Allen type of the 2018 class. He's the guy that can throw out weird arm angles, has that mobility outside the pocket, can throw crossbody, just that great athlete at the quarterback position. Not someone that's going to blow you away with his running talent, but a guy that can improvise on the run, throw crossbody, throw off platform. I think that's your type of, if you're going to talk about your prototypical Josh Allen or Zach Wilson of this class, I think it would be Spencer Rattler. Then you have Desmond Ridder. He's going to be going into his fourth year starting in college football from Cincinnati. He's a really, really good quarterback as well. He has the prototypical size, strength that you want at the quarterback position. He's got a good arm, and again, that 4 years of starting experience is something that I think is going to be really good for him. He's going to be a really, really, mentally sound quarterback. Already has the processing down. I think it's a really, really good chance that he goes in the first round if he can continue that success that we saw him have at Cincinnati last year. And then there's Malik Willis. I think this is the guy that everyone loves to talk about when talking about this quarterback class. He is special. Malik Willis is special, right? Because you go to Auburn, you transfer to Liberty, everyone's all right, like kind of counting you out. He is not only the best athlete out of all these are the quarterbacks I've dove into, by the way. There could be, some other guys that stand out on tape. I'll update you guys as we go along, and we'll do individual tape studies for each one of those as I start to get my 2020 grades for them, the 2020 season grades for them. But, Malik Willis is someone that definitely stands out so far. He's got that athleticism. He's got that Cam Newton size. Got the strength to bowl people over when he's running the football. But he's also got a really, really good arm. And his accuracy is also not that bad for his type of player that he is, which is a running quarterback. But he's still a very, very good athlete. My friend texted me in you can check out the podcast, Max Showstack. His Instagram is also going to be in the description. He runs the draft Instagram. I run the draft YouTube. Regardless, we were texting back and forth, and he was like, this guy kind of reminds me of an unpolished Deshaun Watson. I see the traits that he's talking about because of the arm ability and the throw talent, but I also think that he does remind me a bit of a Cam Newton as well. So Malik Willis is definitely a name to watch out for. And then you have Kadon Slovis, the guy out of USC, another really good quarterback that I think can do a lot of good things. He's a really smart kid. If you want to talk about processing, I think he's there. The physical skills aren't as impressive as a Sam Howell, Spencer Rattler, or a Malik Willis, but I think much like Desmond Ridder, he's a guy that's been playing since he was a true freshman. He's a really really smart kid. He knows what to do with the football. Understands the game. Has a great IQ. So those are the things that's going to help separate Kadon versus guys like Malik Willis who are a little less unpolished. Then you have Carson Strong out of Nevada. This is a guy that if he puts on another good year at Nevada, could be the first quarterback off the board. I know a lot of scouts are high on him right now, and he is the prototypical quarterback. A really good size, really good arm strength. Again, the athleticism isn't impressive for him, but he's much like Sam Howell in the fact that inside the pocket, his movement inside the pocket is deadly. His ability to step up, create plays, extend plays. I think that's something that we really like to see from Carson Strong, and it's something that shows up on tape for him right now. I've only accessed his 2019 tape. I'm going to start to get into his 2020 as soon as possible. So stay tuned for a full video on Carson Strong. But even in 2019, he was still very, very good. And you already see those intangibles that he possesses that are having scouts starting to already drool over him early on. And then you go to JT Daniels, the guy to Georgia, the former number one recruit out of high school, went to USC, it didn't work out for him there, transferred to Georgia, and he played well in the games that we've seen him play at Georgia. Obviously, he's going to be the full-time starter there this year. Again, when you talk about the number one recruit coming out of high school, there's a reason for that, right? He has that size, has that arm strength. He's even a good athlete. His accuracy's there. I really like JT Daniels. He needs to perform at a Heisman level this year to make it worth the ride he's been on. I think he can certainly lead that Georgia team to a national championship. He's one of my favorite receivers in this class, and Pickens on that Georgia offense. It's a good team. I think it's going to be really interesting to see. Is this the year that we see JT Daniels take that step, become that first-round quarterback, or is he going to kind of fall into that second, third round, Kellen Mond type of, he's a good SEC quarterback, but is he, up there with the best of the best? Can he be a first-round talent? It's a big year for JT Daniels, and I'm excited to see what he does with it. Jaden Daniels is one of the most curious prospects in this class. The guy out of ASU, I remember watching him his freshman year. He was playing Oregon. He had a really good game, and I was like, is there something there? Is he necessarily the guy that can make that jump to being a first-round quarterback? I mean, certainly, right? You're not going to discount anyone. He is a very talented quarterback. I think he might be one of those guys that we see go in the second or third round next year, but still a really, really good talent. He's young. He's not, fully polished. I think there's a lot of room to grow, but that athleticism there is there. And, the certain intangibles that he has are there, right? The stuff that you can't teach. His throwing motion's really good. He doesn't turn over the football all that much. He's a smart kid. I really like Jaden Daniels. I think that he has the potential to be, the Kellen Mond of this year, where you see all these guys have draft crushes on Kellen Mond. This is going to be the guy that is going to be the late round gem. This is going to be your Dak Prescott. I kind of see that trajectory going with Jaden Daniels. However, he is a guy that if he comes out and he plays really good ball this year at ASU, he could be a first round pick. And then you get into Matt Corral, who's kind of the opposite of Jaden Daniels. He's unpolished just like Jaden Daniels, but he is the big dick energy. I'm better than you. I'm going to sling it around. Reminds me a bit of, Drew Lock in college. Like, I can fit it in that window. He's a better athlete than Drew Lock. He's a great quarterback, with the mobility. His outside the pocket mobility is great. It's just that decision making. His processor isn't fully there. He loves rolling outside the pocket, extending plays, which is really good, right? But when the window isn't there to throw it, he shouldn't throw it, and he throws that ball a lot. So he definitely needs to become more polished, but just as a raw athlete and a raw quarterback with the arm strength that he has and the running ability and the improvisation ability that he has, I think Matt Corral is someone that is a name to watch out for. And then finally, I wanted to wrap it up with Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy is another guy that could have come out last year. At the start of last year, we were like, is this a guy that's going to be, maybe a first-round quarterback? Obviously, took a step back from his sophomore season to his junior season, coming back for his senior season. Brock Purdy is a really, really good quarterback. I think he still has all the tools necessary to be a good quarterback. It's going to be interesting to see how Iowa State's offense operates this year, especially with Breece Hall bursting onto the scene last year. Could be RB1 this year, right? So, Brock Purdy, another name to watch out for. But that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I just want to make sure I have that right. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 quarterbacks that right now, and this is before the season has even started, I think could be in rounds 1 and 2 for the 22 NFL draft, right? So it's an exciting class. There's a lot of time that and time and stuff that can happen in between now and the draft. A lot of these guys are going to fall off. A bunch of new guys are going to burst onto the scene, right? But for right now, I think that this 22 quarterback class is something to be excited about. If you are a quarterback needy team, this is the year to suck, right? Because if you're the Giants and Daniel Jones doesn't work out, you have your pick of the litter. If you're the Broncos and Drew Lock doesn't work out, you have the pick of the litter. If you're the Dolphins and Tua Tagovailoa doesn't work out, if you're the Eagles and Jalen Hurts doesn't work out, there are so many quarterbacks in this class that I think it's an exciting year. This is I would say the most excited I've ever been for a quarterback class in general. And again, this is my quarterback one for right now. I think he'll be my first tape study video, Sam Howell. I've watched the most tape on him. This is the Syracuse game of 2020. He lit it up as a freshman, had a really good sophomore season, and again, this is his year to prove that, I am that quarterback. Obviously, that's not a great throw by Sam Howell there, throwing the interception, making me look bad. But this is his year to prove, hey, I don't have the supporting cast that I've always had. My offensive line is not great, but if I can produce the way I've produced my first 2 seasons, then it's time to start taking me seriously. Again, it's the intangibles that we talk about, the ability for him to throw on the run, the processing that you see not there because he throws the pick, but the processing that Sam Howell has, I think, is good. And again, UNC's offense is a lot of dumbed down throws. It is a lot of quick throws. I know I'm getting into like a Sam Howell bit here, but I think that when they give him the time to throw the football and let him process, I think he's one of the most exciting prospects on tape. But regardless, guys, that's going to do it for just this quick quarterback rundown video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys are starting to get excited for football season, starting to get excited for the 2022 NFL season, and of course getting excited for the 2022 NFL draft. Expect a lot of tape studies coming out throughout the summertime. I am going through a move right now, so it's probably going to be spacey, but again, I'm going to try to get that Sam Howell video up sooner than later. But regardless, guys, take it easy. Hope you all are safe and healthy. Peace.